Well, now joining us is the first mayor and managing director of Two Rivers Development. Now, as the first phase of the development is nearing completion and going into the second, she is here to tell us further. She has also been voted this year as one of Zambia's 10 most influential women. A great deal of experience as well. Welcome, Ms. Inutu Zalumis.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you with us. Now, as we talk about the Two Rivers development, first, before we even get into it, what does it mean to be the first mayor of Two Rivers City?
The term being a mayor was really around what is Two Rivers. I think everyone has known Two Rivers around the mall. But Two Rivers is much more than that. It's actually an urban node, and it's a city within a city. Hence the reference as a mayor. So one has to look at it not just as one trying to look at running a mall, but one has to look at everything around it: the urban management, the water supply, electricity, power, road infrastructure. Everything has to be taken into consideration, hence the term mayor.
Okay, so it's really nice to meet you, Madam Mayor, then. I like that. And it's actually a 102-acre parcel of land.
Yes.
The whole Two Rivers development. So can you give us a bit of an update on where we are at the moment in terms of the phases and how it's going?
Yes. So as you said, Two Rivers is 102 acres of land. What you see developed to date is approximately 12 acres.
Wow.
And in that 12 acres, we have the mall, which everyone knows, plus the two office towers that sit on top of the mall. So as you drive into Two Rivers, you will see there's a tower above the mall, which is called the Southern Tower, where Centum currently sits.
Okay.
It will soon be head office as well to Carrefour, as well as the Portuguese Embassy. So we have new tenants coming into the building. We also have the Northern Tower on the other side. So if you've used the rooftop parking before, you'd have seen the two buildings that sit on top of the tower. So that is the mall, what we call Two Rivers Lifestyle Center. In addition to that, we have City Lodge, which have built the lodge themselves. They procured the site from us, and they've built the lodge. So they actually own City Lodge. It is not part of Two Rivers in terms of our ownership structure. Then we also have Victoria Commercial Bank as well, which has also completed construction, and now they're in fit-out phase as well. That was a site that was built. In terms of additional infrastructure that we have the Two Rivers Water Company. So we have a water purification and sewage treatment plant. The water purification plant has a capacity of 2 million cubic, so we can actually store water at full development capacity for 4 days. We also have Two Rivers Power. We are regulated by the ERC, as well as our water company is also regulated by WAMA as well. So we provide water and power to our residents within Two Rivers.
Okay.
So that's where we are today. So all infrastructure is in place in terms of water, power, and data as well, and of course sewer as well. That's all in place, reticulated through, and the road infrastructure. And that's where we are so far with phase one.
Okay. So as you go into phase two, what should we expect now from that?
So, in fact, we are still in phase one. The best way to say is that phase two will probably happen in the next probably 3 years.
Okay.
When we look at the cycle of Two Rivers. So phase one, so I would term it as a sub-phase of phase one, was the mall. That was the anchor project to be able to spur the development around Two Rivers. So within the mall itself, what we have is we have some things that are happening around the mall and around lifestyle entertainment. So one of the things that we start around the mall that is very significant, and I think it's a big game changer for us at Two Rivers, is that we start construction on the 1st of December of our cinemas. So we will have a 5-screen cinema at Two Rivers, which is very exciting for us. Around the lifestyle space as well, we also have the theme park, which is currently the aqua play area. We have the Ferris wheel coming in, and it will actually be the largest Ferris wheel in Africa. The largest is currently sitting in Algeria, which is only 40 meters, and ours is 65 meters high.
Wow.
So at the highest point of the Ferris wheel, you'd actually have a view of Nairobi City. So we're very excited about that.
That's
and
amazing.
That is at the Two Rivers theme park area. Then we also have the paintball area. So if anybody has been to the mall recently, they would have seen that opposite the riverfront where the restaurants are, Spur Steak Ranches, or even if you're sitting up at Burger King or Galitos, you'll be able to look down and see some sort of construction happening there. So that's what's happening around the lifestyle and entertainment around Two Rivers. So what we're doing is we're activating that side of life, because Two Rivers is not just about the mall, but it's about creating an ecosystem where people can live, work, and play, as with any developing city.
Okay, so I like that you said it's a city within a city, and there's so many. You've figured out the utilities, the energy, the water, and now you're of course putting into place other factors. The Ferris wheel does sound exciting.
Yes.
I mean, it's very exciting. For someone who's scared of heights, though, I might be a bit apprehensive on that one. But as we go on, what is the current occupancy and average footfall when it comes to the mall? Because it is the largest mall in East Africa, I believe.
Yes, it is. So in terms of occupancy, we've done very well. And I must give you a backdrop of when you look at malls the size of Two Rivers. Two Rivers is 53,000 square meters, which is quite big, and it's what we term a regional mall. In the life cycle of a mall, you normally expect occupancy levels up to year 3 of about maybe 60%. If you look at a very popular mall that a lot of people who have traveled within the Southern African region will talk about is Gateway Umhlanga. When Gateway opened, they were 50% occupied, and they were at 60% for 3 years. We are at 74%. And that's actually quite phenomenal in the life of a mall that's just about to turn 2. So a 74% leased, 66% trading, but that number is constantly moving. By the end of March 2020, by March 31st, 2019, we will be 84% let and 80% trading. So big boxes are opening up, and big boxes will start trading, and that actually creates it bridges the difference between what we call our leased position and our trading position. In terms of footfall, we have 320,000 visitors a month to Two Rivers, and out of that we also have a vehicle traffic counter, and we have 110,000 vehicles coming into Two Rivers on a monthly basis, which is phenomenal as well. It's very impressive to be able to see that type of footfall. I come from an experience of retail in other parts of Africa, and to be able to see this happening here is very impressive.
Okay, so clearly a lot of growth, a lot of development we're seeing. But what are some of the biggest challenges that you face as you carry out these ambitions that you have for this Two Rivers development? As we wrap up,
I think one of the biggest challenges that any developer will experience is to be able to convince the international buyer that this development is where they should really be, because people are very focused. When people look at Africa, they tend to paint us with the same tar brush. And to be able to attract capital outside Kenya, I think is one of the biggest challenges that any developer would experience, is to be able, and you want to attract capital that will come in cheaper, cheaper capital, which comes in from our more developed countries. So I think that's the biggest challenge any developer like ourselves would actually face.
Okay, that's interesting. But also another challenge I know when it comes to security of the mall, because of course that's a bit of a sensitive topic when it comes to Kenyans after the Westgate situation that had occurred. And when it comes to security with malls, you always have a lot of heightened, there are dogs nowadays, and there's the searching and the wand and even the car, and it seems quite thorough. Yeah. So how is the Two Rivers Mall then taking that?
So what we've done, that was something that was actually conceptualized right at the beginning. And that was one of the key factors that we took into consideration. We've invested over $10 million into security at Two Rivers. The mall has over 300 cameras. What we've done is we've gone to the first level type of, and we've gone to the best practice, as well as best level of equipment that you have. We have number plate recognition. We have, when you come into the mall, you see we don't have the intrusive way of actually searching people, because we've gone a step further. I mean, it's security, so I cannot go into detail in terms of exactly what we're doing.
Yes, I understand.
But overall, we have our security operations center, which if you left your bag idle at Two Rivers for a while, it would be picked up. Somebody would notice it, and somebody would actually alert the relevant people that we have a stationary item that's not moving. So we've invested very heavily into security, because we understand that that is one of the key things around Nairobi.
All right, and as we just finish up, any opportunities for investment, the partners that Two Rivers already has on board?
So in terms of our partners, for the Lifestyle Center, we have Old Mutual Properties out of South Africa. This is one of their, in fact, Two Rivers was their first investment outside South Africa, which was very impressive. Also, our other partners are AVIC, JWHC as well, and ICDC. The opportunities around Two Rivers are really for third-party developers. Similar to what we did with City Lodge and Victoria Commercial Bank, what we offer developers is a development-ready site. Okay. We actually cut out 12 months of the development process by coming to purchase developable bulk at Two Rivers. So what we are offering is a development-ready site reticulated with roads, water, power, sewage treatment, and fiber, already on site today, as well as a NEMA blanket approval that we have over the entire development. So when a developer comes through, all they need to do actually is submit their drawings to the county and get approvals for that specific, but not for the entire. They don't have to do a traffic study. We've already done the traffic studies. So we've taken a lot of headaches away from a developer.
So a lot of initiatives that you have made sure are already well catered to when a developer comes into this space.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Inutu, for joining me on Business Today.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
Very, very much welcome. Now, on that note, we're going to